Okay, so this is the topic which we were discussing yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, last class.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point is like this is something which you have to understand. This is very important. This we have learned in our lower grades also. That is, whenever we write a compound, we know that there is no charge associated with the compound. Okay, so that is the principle we are using in these type of question. That is, valency of N and valency of O should cancel each other, and the net charge should be zero. Okay, so that is a principle we are applying. So it's like basic maths. That is like x minus 2 is equal to 0. So what is the value of x? Okay, I hope you understand this way. Okay, so it's like basic mathematics. So I'll explain this again. So in the first case, we have got the formula of the compound as NO. So valency of oxide is like, that is something which we are taking as a like a relative thing. I'm sorry. So valency of oxide is 2 minus. So comparing to that, we'll be finding the valency of nitrogen in all these three compounds, right? So valency of oxide is 2 minus. So in order to make the charge of the whole compound zero, what will be the charge given to N? That is what we are finding here. So if the valency of oxide is 2 minus, 2 minus should be added with 2 to get 0, and that is the reason why valency of nitrogen is 2 plus. Okay, in these type of questions, you have to make sure that you're understanding how many atoms are associated with all these things. So you can see that those three different sub questions has got three different atoms. Okay, it's like number of atom of nitrogen is changing in the second one, and the third one number of atom of oxygen is changing. So to understand that better, we go to the second question. In this, that is nitrous oxide, that is N2O. Valency of oxide again remains the same, that is O2 minus, right? So we have got a minus 2 charge now, so we have to make it 0. So in order to make it 0, we have got two atoms of nitrogen with it. Okay, so two atoms of nitrogen should take care of this 2 minus. So that's the reason why each atom of nitrogen takes one charge each, that is 1 plus charge each. So it is like if one atom of nitrogen is having 1 plus valency, two atom of nitrogen will be getting 2 plus valency, and hence 2 plus and 2 minus cancels off each other, and then we get the charge of the compound as 0. Okay, so here the third one, here it is NO2. Now in NO2 we have got two oxygen atoms. So two oxygen atom, one oxygen atom has valency of minus 2. Okay, so we have got two oxygen atoms, so minus 2 into 2, so total charge given by oxygen is minus 4 here. Is that clear? We have got one oxygen atom which has got a charge of minus 2. In this formula, we have got two oxygen atoms because it is NO2. So one oxygen atom minus 2, so two oxygen atoms minus 2 into 2, that is minus 4. So total charge contributed by an oxygen atom is minus 4. So to nullify it, we have got only one nitrogen atom over here. So that one nitrogen atom should be nullifying this minus 4 charge which is given by oxygen, and that will be taken care if one nitrogen atom takes up 4 plus valency, and that is the reason why in the third question nitrogen has got a valency of plus 4. Okay, I hope this is clear. So this is basically like mathematics. So this is like, how we do that, x minus 2 is equal to 0, we find the value of x, same thing. Now if we have got multiple atoms, you're just multiplying that x with 2 or something like that. Okay, so let's do this question. You all have your book and pen with you. Do this question. You have to find the valency of sulfur in sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Same method you will be using here. We know the valency of oxygen. We substitute the valency of oxygen over here and find the valency of sulfur in SO2 and SO3. Okay, come on, get it fast. Okay, I hope you got the answer. So we will take the first case, that is SO2. So in SO2, Krishna, can you tell me what is the answer for the first one?
4.
4. Can you explain how?
So because O2's valence will be 2 minus. So to cancel it out, sulfur should be 4, so that it cancels and it will be SO2.
Yeah, but then O2 is having 2 minus or O is having 2 minus, Krishna?
O2 is having 2 minus.
O2 is having 2 minus. So then S should be having 2 plus, right?
Yeah.
Your answer is correct, but your explanation is wrong. O is having 2 minus, Krishna. Oxide is 2 minus. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oxide is 2 minus. We have got 2 oxygen atom. 1 oxygen atom gives you 2 minus. So 2 oxygen atom will give you
4.
4 minus. So to nullify it, what is
Yeah.
the charge given on sulfur?
4 plus.
4 plus. Okay, that's it. Good. Okay, just take care of the explanation part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Dhruva, tell me what is the answer for the second one, Dhruva. 1 second, 1 second. Ha, yes.
6 plus
Plus.
6 plus, yeah. Second one, right?
Yeah.
SO3.
SO3.
Yes, 6 plus, no?
6 plus. Can you explain how?
Because there are three atoms of oxygen, and oxygen has got a valence of -2. So to nullify, it's 3 it raised to -2. So it is 6. So to nullify that, it should be 6 plus.
Very good. Okay, so that's it. Very good. So it is like we have got we have got 3 oxygen atoms. So one oxygen atom has got -2 valency. So 3 oxygen atoms will give you -6 charge. To nullify it, sulfur should be having +6 charge. Okay, good. So I hope everybody has understood this concept. So these questions are important. It will come in your board exam. So we'll be giving you more questions of this kind in your practice worksheets once we are done with this chapter. So let's move on to the next topic, which is relative atomic mass and relative molecular mass. I had explained this in the previous class. I'll just go through it once again. So relative atomic mass is the mass of an atom. Okay, so why are we calling it relative is because we are relating it to the mass of 1/12 the atom of carbon. And why are we taking that is because, as I already explained in the last class, we have to have a standard weight so that you can compare it to find the weight of something else, right? So that is how we find out the relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass is also called as atomic weight, but then it is called atomic weight when it is expressed in grams and all. That is when we are weighing it and we are doing a calculation. Otherwise, we don't call it as weight. So it is also known as atomic weight, and that will be the term which we'll be using in your grade 10 numericals. Okay, so I have given you examples over here. RAM of hydrogen is 1, helium is 4, nitrogen is 14. You don't have to remember any atomic weights or masses because all these values will be provided in the question. Okay, you don't have to by heart any atomic masses. You will be given all of these in the questions. Okay, similarly, relative molecular mass, the only difference between atomic mass and molecular mass is in atomic mass we found out the mass of an atom of a substance. In molecular mass we are finding the mass of a molecule of a substance. So here we found out HEN and all. Here we'll be finding CO2, SO2, okay, SO3, all this kind of compounds and all we'll be finding out. And we are calling it as element and compound because element, as in if it is a diatomic element, say H2, so that will be molecular mass. Okay, because one molecule of hydrogen has 2 atoms, right? So that is why it is called as element or compound. Okay, no need to get confused over there. So is the number of times one molecule of a substance is heavier than 1/12 the mass of an atom of carbon. So if I am taking an example of hydrogen, so that molecule of hydrogen, it contains 2 atoms of hydrogen. So we'll be like taking atom of one hydrogen, multiplying it with 2, that will give you the RMM of hydrogen. So that will be 1 into 2, that is 2. Similarly, if I have got a compound which has got multiple elements, we will add all the atomic weight of those elements and we will find out the answer. Okay, so this is the formula of finding out RMM, that is sum of atomic weights of all elements in a compound. That will give you the relative molecular mass of a compound. Okay, So if it is a compound like carbon dioxide, so it will be the atomic weight of carbon plus the atomic weight of oxygen which is present in that. So that will be giving you the answer. Okay. Right. So we will do one numerical. I'll explain you one numerical and I'll give you one question so that you can do it on your own. So very simple example. Okay, so the first question is calculate the relative molecular mass of water. And as I told you, atomic weights are provided. So atomic weight of hydrogen and oxygen is given. So you need to know what is the formula of water. So formula of water is H2O. So I'll be writing the steps. Steps are very important. If you skip the steps, you will be getting like 0 marks in the exam. So steps should be written properly. So molecular weight of water, that is H2O, equals 2 into atomic weight of hydrogen. Why are we taking 2 into atomic weight of hydrogen? Because we have got 2 atoms of hydrogen, right? So 2 into atomic weight of hydrogen plus atomic weight of oxygen. Atomic weight of oxygen because it's only one atom of oxygen. So 2 into atomic weight of hydrogen is given in the question, which is 1. So I'll substitute the value here, that is 1, plus atomic weight of oxygen. Atomic weight of oxygen is 16. So I'll write 16. So 2 into 1 becomes 2 and plus 16. So 2 plus 16 gives you 18. And that is the molecular weight or relative molecular mass of water. So relative molecular mass of water is 18. I hope this is clear. It's a very simple, numerical. There is nothing complicated in this. So I hope you understood this. If there is any doubt, can you please raise your hand? Not on the screen, the other raising hand, so that I can take care of that, and then I can move ahead. I can give you a question. If there's anyone who has got a doubt, please raise your hand, because I cannot see everyone on the screen. So this would be easy for me to find out. Okay, nobody has a problem. Good. So second question. Second question here is calculate the relative molecular mass of magnesium bicarbonate. So you need to know the formula of magnesium bicarbonate. Okay, you can write it down. You can solve it on your own later also. You can write it down. You can take a pic, or you can take a screenshot, or whatever is easy for you. You can solve it on your own. But you'll be giving you more questions. This is just for practice, I am saying. Okay, so atomic weights are given: magnesium, hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. So you need to know the formula of magnesium bicarbonate, that is MgHCO3 twice. Okay, so then I'll substitute the value. So molecular weight of magnesium bicarbonate will be atomic weight of magnesium plus we have got a 2, and inside the bracket we have got all these 3 elements. So I'll be taking 2 and I'll be opening a bracket and I'll be putting all the elements inside the bracket over here. So I'll be taking this 2, I'll be writing it here. So this is 2 into atomic weight of hydrogen plus atomic weight of carbon plus we have got 3 atoms of oxygen inside. So that will be 3 into atomic weight of oxygen. Okay. So there are 2 ways to do this. Either that way, or what we can do is we can take this 2 and we can multiply it with every element present there as it is done on the screen. It is up to you. It is up to you, whichever method you can use, whichever is easy for you, you can use that method. Okay, so I can take a 2 common and put everything in the bracket and multiply that, or I can take this 2 and multiply it with each of the elements present inside the bracket. So that is what is done over here. So that is like 2 into hydrogen. Then we have got 2 into carbon, and here it is 6 into oxygen. Why? Because inside we already have got 3 and outside we have got 2. So we multiply these two numbers and we get the answer as 6. Okay, so that is why it is 6 into atomic weight of oxygen. All the atomic weights are given in the question. So substituting the number, atomic weight of magnesium is 24. Then we have 2 into hydrogen, so that is 2 into 1. Then we have 2 into carbon, that is 2 into 12. And we have 6 into oxygen, that is 6 into 16. So you multiply, you get the answer, and you get the final answer as 146. Okay. Is there any doubt in this? So as I told you, method is up to you. You can take any of those 2 methods. You can take 2 common and you can multiply everything, or you can take 2 and multiply it with every element. Whichever is easy for you, you can use, because you'll be getting the same answer in the end if your calculations are proper. So it is up to you, right? So I want you to solve this question, which you can see on the screen, that is calculate the molecular weight of calcium nitrate. Okay, calculate the molecular weight of calcium nitrate. Atomic weights are given to you. So find out the answer. So Kamya, can you tell me what is the formula of calcium nitrate?
CaNO2
I
twice.
can't hear you.
CaNO2 twice. NO2 twice.
NO2 twice.
Yeah.
Is it? What is NO2, Kamya?
Nitrite.
NO2 is nitrite, no?
NO3 twice.
NO3 twice. Okay, so CaNO3 twice, everyone. Please go ahead and do the calculation. Thank you, Kamya. Done? Done, okay. Anya, what's the answer, Anya?
164.
164. Those who got 164, can you please raise your hands on the screen? Show thumbs up. Yeah, that's fine. Thumbs up is fine. 164. Very good. Very good. Okay, that's the right answer. Very good. Okay, so 164, I'll explain how you got 164. Okay, so we have got calcium. So atomic weight of calcium is 40, plus we have got NO3 twice. So which means that NO3 is in a bracket. So N will be multiplied by 2. So this will be 2 into 14, plus we have got 3 oxygen inside the bracket and 2 outside the bracket. So 3 into 2 is 6, just as we did in the previous questions. That is 6 into 16. Okay, 6 into 16. So we know what is 40, plus 14 into 2 is 28, plus what is 16 into 6, 36, 96. Am I right? Is this correct? Yeah, I hope so. Okay, so add it up and you get 164 as the answer, and this is how you get 164. Okay, is there, I don't know whether it is correct. Okay, 164 is the right answer. Those who have got some other answers, if you have any doubt, can you please raise your hand, not on the screen, on the other place, so that I can, like, answer your queries and we can move on to the next topic. Anybody who has got some different answer and you feel that no, this is not the right answer, I don't know how to do this, please raise your hand over there so that I can answer your queries and we can go ahead. Okay, yes, Archish, yes. Archish, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. Do we have to submit this piece of paper to you afterwards?
Is that your doubt? Are you seriously, I mean, I'll give you worksheets, Archish, you don't worry about submitting this now. I'll give you worksheets, okay? You can, like, think about that later. You don't have to submit this now. This is for your practice. You'll be given, like, worksheets and, like, question answers, which has to be written in your notebooks and all. So you can worry about that later. Now the point is to understand the concepts. Is the concept clear?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Thanks. Yes, Sahil. Yes, Sahil.
Sir, I'm not able to solve this. I don't know. I'm not understanding.
You're not able to solve this. Okay, do one thing after the class, like, send me a message. You can give me a call on WhatsApp. I'll, explain that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So everyone, we will move on to the next topic. I want to finish this numerical part today because we have to start with the next topic in the next class. The second type of numerical which we'll be studying in grade 9 will be calculating percentage composition. Okay, this is a very simple numerical wherein you're finding out the percentage. Okay, so finding the percentage you have already done, you already do it like, when you get your papers and all, right? So even though the percentage is bad, you still calculate that, right? So it's the same method which we are doing over here, right? So a percentage composition of a compound is the percentage by weight of each element in a compound. Okay, so if I am giving you an example, it is like water, that is H2O. So the question can come in two different ways, children. The first one would be they will ask you to find the percentage composition of water. So the question comes like that, you will have to find out the percentage of hydrogen and oxygen. And at times they will ask you question like what is the percentage of hydrogen in water. So in that case, you just have to find the percentage of hydrogen. You will not waste your time finding the percentage of oxygen. Okay, so it's very clear. Okay, in the question, if they don't mention any element specifically by name, you will find out the percentage of all the elements which represent that particular compound or molecule or whatever. Okay, so in that case, you have to find out everything. But if they specifically ask you to find the percentage of an element, you will just find the percentage of that element and not waste your time by finding the percentage of other things. Okay. So percentage composition, it's a percentage by weight of each element in a compound. So the formula is this one. You will write it down. Percentage composition of an element equals weight of the element upon molecular weight into 100. Okay, it's just like finding out the marks you got divided by total marks into 100. Same way, weight of the element upon molecular weight of the compound into 100. Now in this case also, all the atomic masses and weights will be given to you in the question. Now you already know how to find out the molecular weight of a substance, and you just take the weight of the element in that and you do the question. Okay. Okay, I hope you have written down the formula. So the explanation is given over here. Chemical composition is 1:8 by mass, 2:1 by volume. This we have studied in the chapter water in grade 8, if you remember. Condition supply again, if you remember. Percentage composition is 11.11 percentage of hydrogen and 88.89 percentage of oxygen. So how do you find out? We will find out right now with an example. The question given to you is calculate the percentage composition of carbon dioxide. So again, atomic weights are given to you. Carbon is 12 and oxygen is 16. So first, as you have seen, the formula contains molecular weight of the compound. So my first step would be to find the molecular weight of the compound. So we will find the molecular weight of carbon dioxide. So molecular weight of CO2, that is atomic weight of C plus 2 into atomic weight of oxygen, because you have got 2 atoms of oxygen. I hope that is clear. So that is plus 12 plus 2 into 16. 2 into 16 is 32. 12 plus 32 is 44. So we get the molecular weight of carbon dioxide as 44. Now, the formula says weight of the element. So if you take the compound, formula of the compound is CO2. CO2 contains only one atom of carbon. Weight of one atom of carbon is 12. So that would be 12, and upon molecular weight of CO2, that is 44 into 100. So your formula becomes 12 upon 44 into 100. The answer will be 27.27. The important point to note is that when you're finding the percentage, you have to find the percentage in minimum 2 decimal places. You cannot just write 1 decimal place and skip that. Okay, minimum 2 decimal places to be written in the answer. So this is how we find the percentage of carbon. So that is 27.27, right? And then we have percentage of oxygen in carbon dioxide. So again, weight of oxygen upon molecular weight of carbon dioxide into 100. So molecular weight of carbon dioxide remains the same, that is 44. Weight of oxygen is taken as 32. Now the question says atomic weight of oxygen is 16, but in the formula we have got 2 atoms of oxygen, so that will make it 2 into 16, that is 32. Okay, so 2 into 16, that will make it 32, and that's the reason why we are taking 32 upon 44 into 100, and the answer would be 72.73. So therefore my final answer would be CO2 contains 27.27% of carbon and 72.73% of oxygen. I hope it is understood. I have got a couple of students who have raised their hands. I'll just check that out. Yeah. Yes, Veer, what's it out, Veer?
Sir, so if we find this percentage of one element, can we just subtract it by 100?
Yeah, I was going to say that. I know. Yeah, that's quite simple, right? Yeah, that is
We can do
possible,
that.
but yeah, that is possible, but in the exam, you cannot show that as a step. Okay. So you have to write all these steps, but instead of dividing this and multiplying this, you can take 100,
We
you
can
can
just write the
subtract,
answer.
yeah, subtract the answer of carbon and you can write this, but you have to show these steps. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and you have to make sure that you are not showing anywhere that you got the answer as 100 minus whatever it is. Okay, that is possible, but then the steps should be shown like this. It is totally cool. But then if you have more than 2 elements, it becomes a little difficult again. Like in that case, what you can do is you can find the answer for the first 2 and then you can subtract the answer from 100 that way. But then whichever method, like, you have to show the steps because steps carry marks. So that's very important. Right, V?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Yes, Arya Gupta.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask something. Like, sir, what if you divide and it only comes up to one decimal place
You put a zero
and like
there.
it ends there?
It's a
It
zero
ends
there.
there.
It's okay. Put a zero there. Zero has no value.
And
Ah.
and sir, like you told, one is to like valence. Sorry, the in hydrogen oxygen ratio in water is 1:8 by mass and 2:1 by volume. So in both cases, the percentage of hydrogen is 11.11
Percentage is
something.
totally different. That is just to, like, remind you of the things which we have studied in grade 8. That has got nothing to do with the percentage part. Okay, Arya?
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yes, Malaya, yes.
Sir, is there a difference between the mass number and the relative atomic mass?
What?
Is the relative atomic mass of an element is the same as the mass number?
Yeah, absolutely same.
Okay, sir.
Relative
Thank
atomic
you.
mass is written as atomic mass or atomic weight in the periodic table as well. Okay, it's absolutely the same.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. So I hope this is clear. Okay, so we will go on to the next question, which you will be doing on your own. That is, calculate the percentage composition of ammonium nitrate and calculate the percentage composition of calcium sulfate. You can write down the question or you can take a screenshot. Okay, we can do it as a homework since the time is up and you have to take a break before your next class. It's 9:40 already. We started late. So write down the question and take this as a homework. If there is any doubt in this, please ask it right away. We have got like 8 minutes time, I guess. No, that is because we started late, but then yeah, I can take 2 or 3 minutes extra. That's not a problem. If anybody has got a doubt, please raise your hands now. I saw Swara raising your hand and then you put your hand down. I hope that is clear. If it is not clear, you can raise your hand again, Swara. I can clarify your doubts. Okay, others, please write down the question. Okay, I got 2 people. Yeah. Malay again. Malay, you have any more doubts?
No, sir.
No doubt. Okay, thank you, dear. I didn't lower your hand. I'm sorry. Okay, who else? Nobody else? Okay. Arush?
Hmm?
Arush, you have any doubt, Arush?
No, sir.
You had raised your hand, Arush. Why,
No
Arush?
galti. No.
Galti se. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, you're done copying the questions, children? Yes? Okay, okay. So you will complete this. You will find out the answers. I hope you remember the steps. You want me to show the format so that it is easy for you to follow it. Please, this is the format. Okay, so make sure that if you have got more than one atom, you will multiply that atom with whatever number we have got over there. Okay, if you have got more than one atom, say in this case ammonium nitrate, obviously we have got more than one oxygen, so you'll be taking whatever number of oxygen upon the weight of the compound. I hope you all know what is the formula of ammonium nitrate and calcium sulfate, so please take care of all those things. Bhumi More, you can message me